Hi everyone, good day. Welcome on board again to on board with AIV multipurpose. And in this section, we'll be talking strictly on academic purpose. I tag it over here as Students with Excellence with AIV multipurpose. It is proudly sponsored and supported by Amenhub, an initiative for teenagers and youth to develop them in all ramifications, not only in academics. We are also developing people in different skills, ranging from tech skills and other entrepreneurship that they can venture into. However, today we are going to look into our tertiary institution, teenagers and youth, depending on the class referred to. So we are going to look at some of the things being needed academically. We target as students with excellence. We should always know the fact that students with excellence is not only students that succeed academically alone, but students that succeed in all aspects of his or her life, be it academics, be it career, be it other social life that you exist in. So your success in all those fields matter most. So once again, I said you are all welcome on board to an interactive section as we rub minds together. Remember that an excellent student is one who excels in all aspects of life, not just academic. Thanks to the founder of Amenhub for this initiative. However, be free to drop your message, your questions in the comment section. All will be attended to over time. Get your jotting materials as we launch into the main business. Who are this section for? This section are for students that are seeking for admission. This section are for students that just got admission into tertiary institution and thinking of what next. This section is also for those that are at the verge of finishing their undergraduates. This section is also meant for those that are even any level you are during your undergraduate level. They are looking into the fact that how can you help yourself academically at the moment, and what are the things that you need to do after undergraduate section. So stay tuned as I dish out most of this content that we have for us over here. Always make it clear to yourself that you are and you will be successful. So what I focus for this section, I focus will surround three cycles, which is school gist, life puzzle, and after school. School gist, life puzzle, and after school. These are the main thought line that used to be in every student's mind. Immediately they are getting into higher institution, they will always think that how will school, whatever look like, and what are the things that I need to get into? How will my life look after school? So these are the things that I want to quickly glance through some of them. We can't take every content under these three categories, but we'll touch little them that are more crucial to every student. So under the school gist, we are looking into planning approach to exam. We are looking at the fact of building ACE with ease. We are looking at CGPA calculation and projection. We are looking into managing pressure all around. Under the life puzzle, we are looking at the fact of understanding the 4 Gs of life. We are looking into knowing yourself, developing profitable skills, margin presence to thereafter. And after school gist, we are looking into from conviction to reality, making critical decisions, and what next. Some of this scenario, I'll be using some of the things that have happened to me over the trend of the time to explain things. But before we go, let me just bring a recap of myself. I was one time a student of University of Ilorin for my undergraduate degree, and I finished at the Department of Material and Metallurgical Engineering with 2-1. So let's quickly patch into what we have over here. So for the school gist, sometimes it used to happen to freshers. Some of the time it's not only even freshers, it used to happen to people that are already in the system. Probably when they see their results, maybe the first year result and the likes, they used to ask themselves this question: what is happening to me? Is it that I'm lazy or the village people is after me? What do I need to do better? Many of these kind of questions used to happen to students, most especially after seeing the first semester result of the first year. But some of the time, it does not mean that something is happening to someone. But what used to bring up this question? Probably you find yourself that you are not getting up to what you prepared for. Probably a student that is preparing that in this exam is very cheap. The way I did it is very simple. I'm supposed to get A. But when the student is seeing the result, is seeing something around C, something around D, even to the worst of getting F. So so the student tends to ask themselves at that moment that what can be happening to me, so what can I do better? So what you can do better is what you are bringing to you in this section. The first thing that you need to do better is planning. Planning surrounds everything that entails in academics. When you don't plan for something, the result is not quite easy to get. So you need planning. Planning is necessary for building is easily, and you need that right now. I mean right now, depending on whom you are. It might be that the fact that probably you are just getting admission, you are just into the school system, you are in the school system, you've seen some of your CGPA and you are not happy with it. Even if you've seen your CGPA and you're happy with it, you still have more tasks to your head to do. So the time to plan is now. So what do you need to do in this planning process? You scan into Unseen and sketch it out. What I mean by this is you look into that course that you have ahead of you. You look into prospect of, no, this semester I'm going to do this course. This course is how many units? This one is 3 units, this one is 4 units, this one is 5 units. You look into all of them and look at the unseen from them. In this course that is 3 units, most of my activities in the course will be calculation. I'll be doing theory, I'll be forcing theories, I'll be using a series of calculation method and the likes. Looking at my strength and my weakness, I think in this result I should be able to have A, I should be able to have B. What did I need to do to be among the A students? So these are the things that you sketch out. Do I need to be studying this material every 2 hours per day? Do I need to be doing this and that to this? So you sketch everything out, and after then you analyze your thinking and pen down your actual goal. When you now weigh the options that you've given yourself together, I need to be doing this to get this. If I'm not doing this, I will be getting this. So when you now analyze every one of them together and you think which one is the best for you, so you write down your goal. Don't always put your goal within the mind, thinking the fact that way you actualize it. Pen it down. I learned that one from one of my advisor who is a professor in LAUTECH. Thanks to him, I really appreciate him very much. That's Professor Olajide. He used to mention one thing to me, that a goal that you pen in your mind is bound to change, but a goal that you write down inside the hard copy book cannot change. Whatever, it will always be in inscription that way. You've made mention that you want to achieve this. So please and please get a book that you can reckon with over your trend of time in that institution, even after that you can write your goal into. And the goal that I used to write, for example, when I met with my advisor, then when he said I should go and write goal, the way I used to go is that immediately I get my course form for every semester. I write every courses, the introduction, whatever, and the course outline, and I'll put my goal in front of it that I want to have A in that course. And the way I used to pen it down, I will now put it in beneath it that for this course, if I need to have A, I need to read this amount of hour per day. I need to understand this. I need to solve this amount of question on daily basis. So these are the things that can affect you, because one thing that bounds to happen when you have your goal within your mind is the fact that way you tend to change over time. A time will come that you just find yourself weak. You will tell yourself, so far I'm not having test or exam tomorrow, let me just carry this one over. I will do what is necessary tomorrow. But when you have your goal written down somewhere that you know, apart from you, other people can also venture into the book and read it, you always be zealous to do something every day, even when you are tired. Another one is seek like-minded people. You can't know it all. That is one fact I used to understand as a student. You can't know it all. Every woman being have different perspective. Every woman being have different angle to thinking. So you have to look for people of like-minded. People of this like-minded may not be only your senior. Most especially they will be your senior. Probably people ahead of you that have applied through that path. You don't need to use your own head to beat the bush again when some have already used the air to beat the bush. So that is one category of like-minded people that have gone ahead of you. You seek help from them, and you also have some like-minded people and missed your set. There are some people that are also serious about their own academics also. So these are the people you need to seek their opinion when you are solving one question and you think that way it's taking you longer time, or probably you are beating around the bush before you get out to the source. Look for people that are also doing similar things. Learn from them. Picture your angle. And one advantage that this one is to give for students is that you have multiple options to your end to solve a single question, and that one is to give you leverage when you are dealing with question in the examination, and even when lecturer is reading whatever you write inside that content, they will feel impressed that the student know what he's doing, because when you are giving them multiple approach that is leading to one junction, so it will give them impression that no, this student understand what he or she is writing. So please and please seek like-minded people, and never rely on your good, but do your best. Some of us used to depend on the fact that I was one time best student in my secondary school. During the prize giving days, I used to collect all the gifts. I used to collect best students in mathematics, best students in English. I will now bring that orientation also into tertiary institution. This one can affect us in a long time. Don't forget the fact that when you are coming to our institution, you are coming in with the mindset of the fact that different guru, different scholar from different secondary school is coming together on board. And don't forget, it's not only even secondary school. Some are coming from A level, academic, whatever. So in this sense, you should always know that you should not rely on your previous record of being good. You should strive for the best. Pick it up as a new race and strive for the best. And in so doing, you put up your mentality of the fact that when you are best student in one school, you are going into the race as if you are a new student on board that want to strike excellence, and that is how you go with that. Another one is take charge of priority. That is one thing that most students is missing on daily basis. We tend to mingle everything together, going from one occasion, going to another friend's party, going to another activities that is not academic related, going from that one to go around to some friends to go and gist, and after that one go to some beer parlor to go and drink, after that one just walking around the streets just because of the fact that you are bored at home. Sometimes some people wine it out with watching a movie, some wine it out with playing games and the like. So these are some of the things that wave students time out. And what it does is to take care is that it needs to take the charge of power. Some of the students migrate from their region, maybe from their state to another region, just because of study. Something should push in their mind the fact that for them to move from that region to another region, the main priority that is taking them over there is academics, meaning that academic will take larger portion of their time. Academic will take larger portion of their time, and they need to give the high priority to it. Okay, let's go into the building the foundation strong. I will be using the grading system of University of Ilorin. However, this is still applicable to every other system. We have different scalar marking system that different schools use. We have those that are using 5 points. We have some that are using 4 points. But everything still look in between. Just follow the trend of what I want to explain in this section so that you get the point. So for University of Ilorin, for example, they raise the continuous assessment 30 and exam 70. Sometimes some of the time some of their continuous assessment is always 40, but all of these have a grade per each of the grade points, which we have the A to be 5.0, B to be 4.0, C to be 3.0, D to be 2.0, E to be 1.0, and F nothing. You get that? So we have marks awarded for each of these grades, which determine if you have this amount of marks over the trend of the time. This is what you are bound to have. This is the amount of mark you are bound to have. So when you have this one in clear view of your mind, for example, now let's say I'm a student that I am preparing my goal. In my goal, I wrote it down now. I want to have A. Which type of A did I want to have? We have A ranging from 70 to, so if I'm setting myself that I want to have a 80 A, there's probability that something went wrong along the line. I may still fall back to 70 A. That one is possible, that I may not be able to achieve the 80 A. But what if I'm setting the goal of I want to have a 70 A and something went wrong? Definitely I may not be able to have the A, and I will still bounce back to B. So these are the way you think when you are setting that your goal. So I'm shifting to the right hand side over here, that set clear goal. Set clear goal. Let it be clear in the sense that write it down. In physics 115, I want to have A. Physics 115 is 2 units. I want to have A in it. Definitely if I'm having A in it, that from my grade point, it will be 5 times 2 that will lead to 10. Definitely I'm having 10 over 10 in that course. In physics 125, I want to have B in it. Physics 125 is 3 units. 3 times 4, that will be 12. So definitely if I eventually have B inside that 3-unit course, I'll be having 12/15 inside that course. So these are the things that will make you to now calculate your total grade point together for you to know the actual weight you are expecting at the end of the semester. So please plan the goal, make it clear in the format of this is what I want to have in it. If I have this is the output I'm expecting. So, and in the setting of the goal also, like I said previously, I said you should make it clear how you want to achieve the goal. That is how you set goal. Another thing I put there is managing your time. I've talked about this, so I will not still talk about it much over here. Managing your time in the sense of what are the things that you take priority of. How do you spend your time? Do you just go around from friends to friends, jumping from one friend, just listing on things that does not help your career goal, something that does not help you personally? Another thing I put over here is act and get involved. Don't just write the goal, don't just set the goal. You need to act on the goal. You need to do something. Work towards the progress of the goal. Another thing is seek out mentors. Mentors can be anyone ranging from a senior ahead of you, people that know more than you do. Don't forget the fact that some people have already applied through the junction you are getting into. During my own time, I seek mentors of people from my level, from a set above me, and I seek mentor from lecturers. Not even the lecturer from my department alone, but lecturer from different schools that I know they are into engineering career. I remember one time that I went to go and meet one of my advisor, which is Professor Olajide. I batched into his house. Then he was a professor in food science engineering in LAUTECH. So when I batched him, what I told him then was that you fly through series of hierarchy that as an engineering student I used to fly through, and you are now a professor. And I here that I'm sitting in front of you, I'm just a 200 level student in engineering, but I want you to tutor me and guide me through how things I need to do to be more effective as a student and to improve my academic result. That was what I went to him then. When he first looked at me, he first smiled because of the boldness to come and meet him. You know, our professor, the way we used to hype them and the likes, all those stuff. But thank God I have the privilege to meet him based on the fact that he was my father's friend. So, but when he tends to be unfolding things to me, that was when I was. These are things that I've heard before, but the way he's saying it is making it a unique and different thing, and that is the purpose of mentor. When you are seeking mentor, is not someone that will now be putting pressure. No, don't let me use pressure, because they will mount pressure on you. That one is certain, because they will tell you must have this, you must have this. But let me say it like this: they are not the type that they will still be dragging you back or discouraging you. Mentor advise you and put the pressure in you to succeed. They don't mount something that looks unattainable to you. So let me when you are not seeking the mentor, they must be people that have gone through what you are passing through. Because if they did not go through what you are passing through, the way they will be talking to you will be different. You'll be talking on different pages. You'll be talking on different abstract pages. So it's better you seek for mentors that are in your line of field, people that have applied through that line of field, whatever course you are doing. So like I told you that I went to an engineer, a professor for that matter, though it's not in material and metallurgical engineering, but every engineering still have a similarity that guided. That's one part. And I just goes one of the advisor from my field of study, which was then my HOD, and now I finished with him as my project supervisor. That is Dr. Swai Babata. And we also have one of my advisor which also guide me during my academic sector, which is Dr. Adebisi. This one I used to go to them once in a while when I have some challenges pertaining to my academics, which is my course. How do I go about this one? When I have my project issue, how do I go about this one? They put you to, because you've gone through that process also. So you have to seek out for mentor. And some of the mentors may also be from other academic that is different from your course of study. Them is to guide you through some of the things they know generally about the school, not about even your course of study. Now they will guide you through some of the ethics and things that you need to know concerning your study, not in a general view, not in terms of your specialties. Another thing is be inquisitive. To ask questions. even if you know it, ask questions from other people to check their own opinion, or to check yourself, are you on the right page? Some of the time we assume things that we know it, and sometimes we assume things that I can do this one, this is the right answer, but some of the time we used to get out of hand that some of those things that we assume that we know is totally wrong. So what you need to do as a student is you need to be inquisitive. You need to be inquisitive in the sense of the fact that ask questions, and in the last stage of it, never be discouraged. Never be discouraged. Even when you think you strike your best, you strive for the best, you do your best, everything was clearly planned, and you still find out that your results came out the way it comes out. Never be discouraged. That one is telling you that you need to shoot better. And in the grading system over here, you can see that I differentiate with different colors. Some are in red, some are in orange, some are in yellow, some are in green. That red region is a no-go area for anyone. You don't need to apply to that. I could remember even then, during my own undergraduate system, they removed this section of E from the result, meaning that if you have anything 44 downward, is automatically F. So that E and F region is a no-go area for any student. Peradventure something happen along the line, you can still fall back to this orange region, but I don't advise it for students that want to be A students that want to be successful with excellence. The C and D region is not meant for you. The region that is meant for you, that you need to be working towards, is that green region, which is that A region, that is 70 and above. And how can you achieve this 70 and above? It's just simple, that something that is simple and technically that you can work with. One thing that is easy to get is a continuous assessment, depending on the type of examination that you are going through. Some of the continuous assessment will be the fact of what you are gathering in your class, and some of them may be that you have to go and do probably like CBT exam and the likes of tests like that. So for example, let's take for example, probably the course is written courses. Some of the lecturers used to work with the fact that way, I will do my continuous assessment 10% attendance, I will do some of it a test, some of it quiz, some of it term paper, some of it assignments and the like. This one is giving you leverage that if you are serious in that cycle, there's no how it will be worse. Let's say they are grading 40%, you should be able to have 30% out of that 40. You should be able to have 30 out of that 40. If it's 30, you're supposed to have something around 20 to 25 out of that 30. So if you are able to get this from the continual assessment, yours is just to strive better. For example, a student that already got 30 out of 40 in continual assessment, out of this remaining 60 years, then what you just need to strive yourself to get is what? It's for you to look for 40 out of the 60. And if you are able to get the 50 out of the 60, it's okay with you for you to go to get your A. So these are the way you plan your thing. Your continual assessment must be on strong level to help your examination, even if anything went wrong along the line. So please, in this cycle, what I'm just trying to bring out is that you can't do away. Some of the students used to say going to class is like waste of time. It's not waste of time. Let me quickly tips this one in. Going to your class now, apart from the fact that you get your attendance done, the another thing that it gave you is that it make you to see the mind of the lecturer. Some of the time, all the lecturer differs from each other. The way they approach things, the way they approach lecture, the way they approach you answering the question differs. Some lecturer will tell you that I don't want lengthy word, I just want short word. Explain your information in concise form. Let it be simple, let it be minimal. Some lecturer will tell you that if you want to pass the question I'm giving you, you have to write up to a page. So when you go to classes, that's when you understand this precept that this lecturer wants it like this lecturer wants that. But when you don't attend any class, you just think that all of them is assuming it in similar way. You badge into the exam and you just be writing. You find out that when the result, you thought you've done something huge, but when the result is still out, you find out that everything still went wrong. So please go to lectures to understand the mindset of lecturers and to understand their principle, how they work. This one will still give you leverage in answering the question and passing the course. Another thing that I need to talk about under the school gist is the fact that you need to manage pressure. Pressure will come from every angle, even from the fact that you are leaving your home to that place. They will have been emphasizing in your face at home before you leave home that by the time you come back, you must finish with first class, you must pass this one, you must come out with excellent results, you must do this one. You'll be looking at yourself, did I even have the strength to do this? Probably you are coming up as a student that just managed to survive during your secondary school, and then they are pressurizing you that first class. And also when you get to the school environment, I remember then every student that is inside the uni learning, then they used to call every one of them scholar. Calling all of them, you'll be wondering that am I even scholar, I'm mechanic, all those stuff. So pressure will also come from professor, that some of the lecturer that will tell you that it's not easy to get A in my course. Some of the students have turned it in the past. It's rare before you see students that get A. Some of the time the challenges will come from the pressure will come from financial challenge, in the sense that probably you don't have money, and you even call them, they are telling you that you should be patient with them, there's no money, blah blah blah, those stuff. A lot of things will come. Sometimes that you'll be reading and you find out that this thing is not sinking, or you even get to class, something that you've been reading for 3 days and you don't understand, and the lecturer just asks a simple question in class. One of your classmates, even somebody that is not older than you, is just asking the question, blah blah blah. You'll be wondering that what is really happening to me. So all this pressure coupled together, what the summary is all about is that you just have to manage the pressure. You have to manage the pressure in the sense that you need to calm yourself down and understand things. So when you are able to manage this pressure, and how can you manage this pressure, is lift those burdens away from you and think of the positive goal that you are setting. For example, now listen, people at home already told you that you have to come with first class. Your professor is telling you that it's not easy. They are not telling you it's not possible, but they are telling you it's not easy to have A in their study. So what you just need to do is what? Set your own goal. I want to have A in the course. How do I want to achieve it? These are the way the principle I want to follow. And by so doing, working around that your goal, you'll be able to manage such. And if it's financial challenge, you can seek help from people that can help, not people that will help you and still collect something big from you. There are a lot of good mind people outside there that can also help you financially in your academic. And if you are a Christian or you are a Muslim, move to your organization in terms of church and mosques now. There are some of them that are ready to help you financially when they know that actual truth, because we have some of the students even that have encountered over the trend of the time that probably they lost their parents and the likes, that finance is not that easy. So if you are in this caliber, the best thing I even advise you to do is join a religious organization, maybe like church or mosques and the like, that you can learn, that they can help you along the trend of the line. And if it's other thing like relationship or you yourself, this is the time for you to manage it. Look at what fits you most. When time do you need to read? When time do you need to study to understand things more better? Instead, let me say this key word here. Instead of letting them influence your outcome, those pressure, prove to the world whom you are by keeping the situation under control. Put it under control in the sense that everybody is bound to be affected by this pressure, but the way we manage it determines what outcome or the result that we tend to achieve along the trend of the line. So please put all those pressure under control. So let's go into the life puzzle. One thing I used to tell people is that this life is not the fact that you have to bring multiple connectors to a junction for you to connect all of them together before you have something that is meaningful to present to people. And by the time you are seeking for these palettes that are scattered all around, you pulling them together, many people will not see it until you form the puzzle in a clear form, and that is when people now say, wow, where does this one also come from? But life is undoubtedly a puzzle, one that we often provide you with a range of timely choice till you figure it out clearly. So some of the time, by the time you are walking around, all those things that you are doing in your academics, you are going for lab work, you are moving from lab work to one field activities. From that field activities, you are still going back to lecture hall, you are doing tests, you are doing this and that. These are the things together that is making you to sort out for all the content in the puzzle that you need to connect together. And don't forget the fact that also along the trend of the thing, let me just break this one down. I used to tell something that You can't go to a tertiary institution and come out only with just one certificate, which means that the certificate of the school, you have to come out with different certificates. Certificate may not be a physical certificate, but you have learned and undergone series of things. That's why some people used to say the fact that academic is scam. Academic is not scam. The perspective of the individual determines that academic is scam. For example, now I told people that it's not the fact that everyone that is going to tertiary institution are meant to work without a certificate. After then, some will go into this academic section to just develop their intellectual, in the sense that what this thing that I know how to do, how can I bring my academics into it to make it different, to make it unique. So, and by so doing, you will find out that we are building entrepreneurship, entrepreneur mindset people that can do something extraordinary even outside the field of what they study, because they've carried academic into what they are doing, and that is how you just find out that everything comes out. So, but the first key success to in life pursuit is that you need to know yourself. Know yourself in the sense that what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, what can I do better, what are the things that I can manage together. And I used to say in this trend of the line, as you are schooling as a student, which also help your finance pressure, for you to manage your finance pressure, you have to have other thing in progress. What I mean by that one, other thing in progress is that way, as you are going through your undergraduate with a serious mind, you have to also look for skills in line with your study, or that you just find out where is a personal gift that you have to develop. And when you are developing these skills, it should not be skill of temporary that you think that people are making it inside it. It should be a skill that you've seen into the 5 years of that skill, 10 years of that skill, that this skill is still relevant for you, that you can utilize it for something great, something excellent with time to come. So in so doing, by the time you are learning all those skills, definitely you are developing, apart from the fact that you are developing skills that will later turn to profit for you, you are also developing your own capacity. Don't forget the fact that resources come to people that have value to render at the table. So when you don't have anything to render that can bring resources in terms of cash, in terms of finance, definitely you don't expect them, except you want to do the mago way. So please know yourself and seek to learn news. I think that is part of that one that we'll talk after this slide. But before we go to that one, let's quickly look at some of the 4Ds. These are 4Ds that I generated for Amenhub initiative, for some of the training and the likes that we are doing for people. These are the steps that you need to apply through along the track of the line to make the life puzzle. Now I'm talking on terms of skills that you'll be developing along the track as a student. Although I will still mingle this with your academic per se area, but just know that these are some of the crucial steps that you need to follow. Our first one is discovery. You need to search for it. There are some hidden talents within us that we don't notice until we tend to do something active. We tend to seriously put in place some activities before we discover. And how do you discover this? There are some of the things that you do with ease, even when you are sleeping, when you are just waking up from that sleep that you are sleeping, when you might just be working, something that you do with ease that does not give you difficulties in doing them. These are the things that may give a simple light to that thing that you need to discover in yourself. And the moment you discover this thing, another thing is determination. For example, now as a student also, you have to discover it that I want to be a student. I can be a student. You've discovered it, you've searched for it. Another thing is determination. If you are not determined, you can't attain it. Your determination now comes to the fact that I've written that I want to be reading from this period to this period. I want to be doing this from this period to this period. As somebody going into entrepreneurship, I want to learn this thing from this month to this month. I want to make sure that by the end of this month, I want to be doing this. So determination comes in, and after determination is what is development. Growth is essential. You have to look for people that can develop you in that trend of the line of what you discover. Don't just don't beat around it. But that's one of the mistakes that I make earlier around. Some of the time I think I can learn it all myself, though it helped me because it opened my mindset to wild things. But it's not always still good. The growth will always be minimal. What you just need to do is look for people that can train you, people that can help you develop in that circle that you find yourself. And in so doing, when you have been able to develop yourself to efficient place, the next thing is what is just for you to deliver the quality, the value that you've attained during your development period. You render it as service to people, and people will pay you back. People will pay you back something substantial, and this one can help you in aspect of your others dealing. But mind you, I used to say something that, don't forget what I say in the start, that value your priority. Whenever you are in the academic sector, your main priority and your larger portion of the time goes to your academics. But as a student that is also growing into multiple phase during the undergraduate, you have to look into your strength and your weakness before you leap into what you want to add as skills. But in adding skills, we have various skills. That maybe one of my section I will still talk about different skills that you can venture into. But whatever skills that you venture to, let it be something that will help you in your academic and will also help your aftermath income. What I mean by that one is, for example, we have different tech skills. You can't be working even if you have your certificate. For example, now let me use a student from education department. Education department, you have to have at least a bit understanding of computer related skills. So if you are in engineering, or you are whatever courses that you are studying, you need to have some of the computer related skills. So you can badge into this during your undergraduate process and learn some of these tech skills that can add value to you and your course of study. And in so doing, you're able to, number one, be able to utilize it in your course, and you also be able to deliver skills, service to people that deliver back to you resources in terms of cash and recognition. And also there's a lot of things that comes with you delivering service to people. So that one now boils down to the fact of learning new profitable skills. I bring this slide to this section physically just for me to explain that 4D, but I think you will have understand this slide right from the concept of what I explained under the 4D. Learn new profitable skill. I tag the word profitable over there for a purpose. Some of us used to learn skills based on the fact that my friend is doing it, that is what my mom does. That is we don't have serious reason for learning some skills, and some of the time the skill that we even learn does not interest us. We just find ourselves learning the skill just on a neutral ground. Some of the time, some people learn skill based on the fact that they just want to follow their friends to that arena where they are learning your stuff. Though some of the time it used to work out for some people it does not work. Learn profitable skills. Profitable skills in the sense that something that can help you to generate income, and after series of going through the pruning stage, the grooming stage, after you are done with the skills learning, you are able to get income from it. Because one thing as a student that you need to be planning from now is the essence that you have to grow multiple income for your future. Your parents, you tend to go to them on 10th of each month, even their salary now that they are expecting a salary around 25th downward, but you go to them on 10th, you request for money, they give you money. You go to them on 15th, you request for money, they give you money. You still go to them within the cycle, even after they've collected the salary and they spend it finish, you still go to them, you seek for money, they still give you. It's not because of the fact that the money is just coming from abstract way. Some of them, apart from the fact that they have savings, they also have other businesses they involve into. So please look for multiple stream of income. Your academics can give you a leverage to be able to work in a sector that surround your academic arena, but you also need to look for skills that you can develop that can serve as level of income for you. Don't worry, in one of my subsequent slides I will talk about some of the profitable skills that you can venture into. So please learn new profitable skill when you are in school. But peradventure you are already at the verge of your undergraduate stage, probably it's not that easy. For example, if you are in the last lab, final year, it's not always that easy to go and learn new skills, in the sense that way you have a lot of pressure around you in terms of project activities, in terms of final year, whatever, in terms of people that want to skip through, probably people that want to move from 3.4 to 3.5 just to meet up with 2.1 and the likes. So you might not be able to, but one thing I used to tell them is that your after school, which is after your undergraduate, and your NYC period is a period for you to leverage new skills that you can develop, that even if it's just 1 year. Okay, let me just use my own scenario for example. Personally, during my undergraduate stage, I ventured myself into media related of a thing, video editing, graphics design, audio recording and packaging, blah blah, all those stuff. But I developed my own skills with some churches. I think that is the fastest way I can grow with. So I started learning new things, going for different seminars, going for different courses. But for me to practicalize most of this skill, I need to join some churches and some organization media department. So for me to grow these skills that I'm learning, and along the line I pick content creation as part of it. I learn writing. Later on I want to focus on the niche of academic writing because it's also helping me in my research as an undergraduate student. People were surprised when I submit my undergraduate project then, as I think it's around 170 pages. People were like, sure, what are you writing inside? Some people are even submitting 50 pages, some people are submitting 60 pages. But what I find through the trend of Refined App when I was learning this series of things is that it is still bouncing back to help me academically in terms of writing now. So that makes me to venture into the niche of writing academic research, academic literatures and the like, blah, 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 all the stuff. And also in the trend of going my media, I tend to look at it that let me use my NYC period to go into the main field of media. Let me go and practicalize in the forefront of media field. So when I was planning my NYC, I planned my NYC not into engineering firm, even being an engineering student. Though I was working as a research assistant to one of my lecturer then during my NYC period, which I'm helping him to supervise somebody that is doing his master inside composites. But along the trend of the line, I went to a radio station, Diamond FM per se, where I went to go and work for them just to grow my own media content. And what did I do there? I went in the audiovisual live streaming, the audio recording, a lot of things ICT related of things have been developed. So these are the things that you can use to leverage yourself to in learning new skills that can be profitable for you. And when you know it to yourself, by the time the service your service will be needed, you will not be left stranded in one position. That's why you have to learn new profitable skills. And when you are learning new profitable skills, never depend on just based on the fact that I've learned this one and I'm good. Keep learning things unveil himself on daily sequence, timely sequence. And the thing that you learn in 2020 may not be relevant again in 2022. That's why you need to keep yourself up to date. Keep learning new things. And so doing, connect your now to your future. Whatever you are doing at the moment, you have to connect it to the future in the sense that what are the things that this thing that I'm doing now, how will it affect times to come? The future is not even something far. The future is something near. Some of us then, when we used to picture in my future, that thing is closed. It's not something that is looking far. And whatever you do now is something that will affect that time to come. That's why you need to be serious with things that you do now. You don't just follow friends based on the fact. One thing I used to challenge people with, well, probably because where I came from, some people do used to follow friends, and you don't know that such friend that you are following, they already have a job for them before they even badge into undergraduate. They just need that certificate to just go and collect that job. So some of the time you don't need to compare yourself with anyone. Just know that you're actively working to connect two dots. Though it's not always easy to connect the dots looking forward, but it's always easy to connect it backward. But you can also connect it forward by using your imagination. Your imagination is said that way, if I do this, if I do that, if I do this, if I do that, I will be able to achieve this. You are forecasting. So that one will make you to have at least preamble of connecting the dots forward. So in so doing, so please and please connect whatever you are doing now to your future. How relevant is this? As a student that is going through a course of study, and you tend to go and be working for somebody that is giving you 10,000 naira on something that does not profit you on long term. I mean, for example, now probably you are helping somebody to sell biscuits, you are helping somebody to sell donuts and the likes. You are not even learning the production of donuts itself. You are just selling the donut and you are collecting that. You are wasting your time on that one. Learn skills. If you want to go into that one, go and learn how to prepare that donut. Go and learn how to prepare that snacks. Go and learn how to do that skills. As you are doing these skills, you may be getting income, but on the long run of it, when you know how to do these skills, you'll be able to develop something big in future. So that's how you connect your now to your future. Because of our time, let's quickly go to after school gist. After school gist, one thing on when you're on undergraduate stage is that a lot of things will come up in the fact that people will be thinking, what how does life after school really be? So it used to give a lot of confusion. But one thing about it is when you bounce into it, you know the reality. But one thing is that whatever will happen after school is the fact that what you've done during your undergraduate stage. That's what I just need to tell you on reality. The amount of investment that you make during your undergraduate will help how your reality will be after school, because a lot of challenges will pop up. Okay, let me use some of the challenges that I think I focus, though that one does not really affect me much because of the fact that I've started my own non-dependent factor financially from 200 level, that I tends to depend less I tends to depend less on finance from home, right from 200 level. However, I notice the fact that the moment you are badging your final year and you are planning to round up, you just notice that some finances that you have been open for, some of them are getting retired, some of them are getting reduced. The worst of it all is when you go for your NYC and you start receiving that government allowance. Some tends to that guy is now rich, that lady is now rich, so they tend to reduce it. And the worst thing that will now worst it up, that despite the fact the money is not even enough for yourself, you have a lot of people, even some from the family, some from that just met during school, during the undergraduate, some that is in your local area and the like, that will now be trying to request from you urgent 2k that you need to solve the problem. By the time if you are the one that is that is generous enough, by the time you do give away for this, and you just find that you are also in poverty. So that is how reality used to bounce after school, to the sense that you notice that there is no resources, there is no money. And the worst of it, the enjoyment still lies during the NYC period. Probably I will use one of the time to explain to talk more about my NYC period, so that you understand how I use that 1 year for most of my activities. But over the trend of the line, the fact that the amount of investment during the undergraduate used to help also in that final after school, sorry, it also used to help after school. It says that what some of the investment that you've done, you go into the reality of them in practical. And mind you, there's a lot of things, there is more pressure even then, because when the finance have stopped, the worst thing that used to even happen is the fact that after you finish your NYC and you start looking for what can you be doing, I mean in terms of job, another series of challenges to come in down. But we'll talk more on this, and probably we'll still bring some of our intellectual guests that can talk more on this perspective. How did they escape through this region? But I would do one short package to explain how I migrate from my undergraduate to after school of a thing, and making critical decision after your school. After school, you'll be making some of the critical decisions that tends to affect your long-term goal. It will tend to affect your long-term goal. Some of these decisions is, who do I need to work for? What do I need to venture into? Am I to go for my masters? Am I to go into academic sector back? Am I to work? Am I to get married? What did I need to do next? So these are some of the questions that will be popping up to you. But when you've already planned, that's why I used to tell students, even when you are in 100 level, 200 level, 300 level, have short-term goals and have long-term goals. Short-term goals in the sense that what do you want to achieve in years to come? What do you want to achieve in one of the courses that you are doing, in all the courses that you are doing, or what do you want to achieve in 2 years to come? I have a long-term goal in that. What do I want to achieve, or what do I want to become in 5 years time? What do I want to become in 10 years time? What do I want to become in 15 years time? When you have this kind of long-time goal, it will not get you short along the line. You'll be able to focus that you have a bigger goal, while you have also shorter goals to something like objective to reach that bigger goal. So when you have this one in clear, it will definitely guide you and help you along the line. So what next for you after school is the fact that it's just for you to go into practical reality manifestation of those goals that you've set on ground. Don't worry, we'll talk more about this school gist over time. I will look for a section where I will explain this one deeply, because the time is fast spent. I have a lot of things to say, but the time is not our friend, and I don't want us to be using something very huge up to this almost 50 minutes of our time. So let me quickly, under the section question and answer, basically because of time, I will encourage us to put the question under the comment section while I will attend to them via that platform. Thank you for your time. Thank you for joining. Don't forget, this is brought to you from Amenhub. Amenhub is an initiative brought to teenagers and youth just to develop them in academic wise, and to also develop them in other skills, like ranging from tech skills, from little thing that we can learn that can also be generating income. Thank you for joining. See you in the next video. However, if you've not subscribed to our channels, so please do. You can subscribe to the YouTube platform, you can subscribe to the Facebook, Instagram and the like, so that by the time we drop any content, you'll be able to get alerted. So you'll be able to know that something is dropping from Amenhub. So more of this is still coming. So please subscribe. See you in the next episode. Thank you very much for your time.